Students, not unlike the characters in 2003's Old School, have always found a way to cut corners when it comes to tackling homework and exams. But now new technology and artificial intelligence are making it even easier for students to cheat.
A recent story on Wired.com sheds some light on how this tech has become the new Cliff's Notes for students across the nation. Here with more is CBS News contributor and Wired editor-in-chief Nicholas Thompson. Nick, good morning.
Morning, Anthony.
How widespread is this?
I think it's pretty widespread, and I think it's only going to become more widespread. The tools that students have available are getting more and more intelligent, more and more accessible, and the teachers don't know about them all.
You mentioned the tools. What are some of these online tools?
Well, the tool that we wrote about in Wired on this part of the site called Back Channel is called Wolfram Alpha, and it's a search engine, so it's kind of like Google, but it's a search engine that actually gives you the full answer, and it's really good at math. So you can put in an algebra problem. You can say, 3x plus x squared equals 17, and it will not only give you an answer, it will show you the steps on how to solve it,
right,
which you can imagine as an incredibly useful teaching tool for a student who is at home, can't find the answer, is figuring it out. And you can also think of it as a great tool for cheating.
Yeah, because, well, my math teacher always used to say, when you put the problem down, you say, show your work.
Right.
Which was, he wanted to see how you got to the problem, but he also wanted to see that you figured out how to do the problem and didn't just take the answer from somebody else.
Right, so that's the first step. We get calculators, right? Calculators are really good. They can solve problems, and the teachers say, show your work, so you know that it's not just some calculator. And now Wolfram Alpha goes so many steps beyond that in so many ways.
How do they tell, though, if it's coming from this one that you're talking about versus a student just figuring it out on his or her own?
You can't. That's why it's hard, right? So a teacher could say, so one of the things that was written about in this essay was a teacher who'd given out, it was, I guess, a calculus homework assignment.
Right.
And she'd mistakenly put on problems from the wrong place that were way too hard, that were beyond the student's capability. Yeah. The papers came in, and suddenly the problem sets came in, and wait, how'd they solve that? Something is amiss. And so what a teacher can do is they can go into Wolfram Alpha, type in the problem, see the steps that Wolfram Alpha came up to solve it, and then say, oh, wait, the student completely matches it. So maybe that's cheating, maybe that's a problem. The teacher could also say to the student, hey, let's sit down and let's talk, right? Maybe classes in the future are going to become a little more like Oxford, where you actually just, talk to the students, and then you can figure out what they're doing. But you don't want to lose sight of the fact that these tools are kind of amazing and kind of helpful and really important for life in the future, right? In the future, you're not going to solve calculus problems in your head. You're going to use your computers. So
I'm thinking math teachers are going to hate my saying it, but if we have a computer that can do it, why do I need to know how to do it on my own?
And okay, so the guy who made Wolfram Alpha, that is what he says. He says, look, the problems we're solving are low-level math problems. You shouldn't be teaching these. Just like we shouldn't be teaching, 6 times 5, 6 times 5. You don't really need to know, or maybe like 26 times 25. You don't really need to know 26 times 25 immediately, because you can do it on any of your devices, including your phone. So you shouldn't spend a lot of time learning how to do that quickly. And maybe the set of math problems that we shouldn't be spending our time studying is just getting more and more complex.
Well, you're going to get some mail from math teachers.
I know.
But, all right. I just wanted to say, all right, so if you're a math teacher, if you're a school, how do you deal with this?
So I think the way to deal with it is to recognize that computers are becoming more and more like humans. Artificial intelligence is making the machines more like people, and you need to really think ahead. You need to think, okay, in the future, these are the tools that are going to be available to these students when they go out in the world. So what are the skills they're going to need to learn? They're going to need to learn some kind of critical thinking. They're going to need to learn how to work with the machines. They're going to need to learn how to type the right things into the machines, and to set your curriculum not based on the way the world was 30 years ago or the way the world even is now, but set your curriculum based on what the world will be like. And that's how the students will benefit the most.
Wish they had this stuff.
And tell them not to cheat, because that's important too morally.
I was going to say. But I also wish they had this stuff when I was in school.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to have the calculator until I could do the problem myself.
Nick Thompson, thanks so much for being with us this morning.